Hello, everyone. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are back once again with another pay-per-view preview, this time for TNA No Surrender 2024. And I am joined by a very special guest. He is one of the co-hosts of Between Two Beers over on Love Wrestling CA, one of the esteemed, knowledgeable hosts over on Love Wrestling. He is the main man, Pluggo. What's going on?
What's up, my friend? I have to laugh because you really thank you for like the over-the-top intro, but I don't know if I am the main man or one of the knowledgeable ones, but I show up every Thursday night, like you said, one half a beard. So I'll take it. How are you?
Hey, I gotta boost you up. Even if you don't feel like you go up to the mantle, we'll try to live up to it.
Listen, I just don't want to disappoint your fans and be like, oh, he thought this guy knew some stuff, and he's like, oh no, they're gonna find out in however long this takes that he don't know nothing.
It was like, oh, you got all these matches wrong. What was he talking about?
I don't know if you've ever done that, SP3, but I have gone over on some pay-per-views before, and people are like, what the heck, man? And I'm like, I picked with my heart with this one. I'm sorry.
Well, I am pretty well known for my accurate predictions. I do pretty well at the prediction game because I am an expert tea leaf reader. That's what I do.
Okay,
read the tea leaves.
I pick with my heart, SP3.
I learned long ago that's the wrong way to pick things.
I famously, early on in my days of content creation, would like title it "Sure to Be Wrong," Pluggo picks whatever pay-per-view. Yeah, because it got bad for a while, and then NFL games this year. It was rough.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Everybody didn't come for all of that. They came to talk about some TNA No Surrender, the first Impact TNA special since the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. So much has gone down since TNA made the change and the rebrand to TNA Wrestling from Impact Wrestling at the start of the year. We had the Hard to Kill pay-per-view with new stars coming in, hot matches that they had on that pay-per-view, including Nick Nemeth walking into the company. Then they followed that up with TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace appearing in the WWE Royal Rumble match. And then TNA just decided, oh, we're just going to mess up all the headlines. It's been all positive. We're gonna fire Scott D'Amore as TNA president. We're going to bring in Anthony Ciccione. And it's been kind of a whole mess ever since then. The TNA roster has expressed their feelings as far as wanting Scott D'Amore back, in support of Scott D'Amore. Anthem has gotten some heat in regards to this decision. What has been your thoughts with everything that has gone down in just 6 weeks of 2024 for TNA?
Well, you said it that the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, I hadn't seen so much like excitement around TNA in a while, or Impact, if you will. And I was like, all right, TNA's back. Hard to Kill was great. They got some things going on. You glossed over Top Dollar being there, but hey, we'll get into that in a little bit. But no, and then all of a sudden, like, he's out. They fired the guy that's been the driving force. And now I haven't seen so much just sadness around a pay-per-view that quickly, where it's like, oh, and it's not because, from what I've read, Scott D'Amore is a terrible person. They just wanted to go a different direction, and I haven't seen this groundswell of like roster support in a long time for something like this. Makes me wonder if anybody's going to show up to No Surrender.
I wouldn't go that far because there's contracts involved.
I'm being a little over the top, but there's some, and Josh Alexander's not happy, and you don't want to lose that guy. He's
that was a big one. I know we dropped our interview with Josh Alexander last week. That was done before the firing of Scott D'Amore, but it was announced earlier on Tuesday that Josh Alexander had been re-signed by TNA. Then it was then updated to they extended his contract, and then Fightful Select put out a report stating that Josh Alexander had expressed to TNA that he did not want to have his contract extended. He wanted to explore his different options, and TNA did not listen to him and extended his contract anyway. So they're not getting one of their top stars on their good side, to say the least.
Well, we as from the sports side of things, it makes sense, right? You keep Josh Alexander, he's under contract, but right now, how sensitive it is with the talent, like you might say, okay, Josh, if you're willing to, because I read he's willing to renegotiate and he wants to be there if it makes sense. So maybe you say, okay, go test the waters, come back, let us know, let us at least get a chance to match it. And they were like, no, we're keeping you, you're stuck. It's like a football player holding out. Like, you don't want to upset this guy because then he'll just leave and then you'll be without. Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah, they basically gave him the franchise tag.
I haven't seen anything like this in a long time, where it's just like a beloved figure is just completely out with no real explanation.
Yeah, it's very weird. You had a couple of people jump into conclusions that Scott had did something wrong and all of that, but nothing has come out in regards to that. And I love the support that the TNA roster has been showing to Scott D'Amore, and it shows that connection that he had with that roster there. But
yeah, and he said he wanted, and he said he was gonna. Yeah, he even tried to buy it off of Anthem. Yeah. Like there was all this stuff. I don't understand. Again, I'm not an expert, but if things were going as well as they were and you were getting some real buzz, to just let go of the guy that like was a driving force behind it because you just want to go a different direction, it's kind of silly. But what do I know?
Kind of silly and kind of weird and bad timing all around.
Super bad. Sure. But you don't want that going into a pay-per-view. You just don't want that negative, and and then nobody's came out and tried to even do damage control yet. So, well,
this has been handled poorly, but hopefully the pay-per-view will not. So definitely, if you're watching this on demand, if you're watching this on the premiere, sound off. Let us know in the comment section, in the live chat, your thoughts on the firing of Scott D'Amore. Tell us your thoughts and predictions for the card for this Friday's No Surrender. It's going to be a huge card, as you're going to have some matches on the pre-show, some matches on the main card. Main card, as of right now when we're recording, has 7 matches already lined up. But we're going to start Pluggo here with the pre-show, the countdown to No Surrender, as the main faction in TNA wrestling right now is the system of Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers. Edwards and Myers will team up with Alicia Edwards in their corner on the kickoff to face the intergalactic jet setters of Kushida and Kevin Knight. All 4 men will have involvement in the main event of the show, but who do you think wins this one here?
Oh, I think we get the system winning in the pre-show, just because I just don't see, like, because the way I've got it set up, I have the system winning in the pre-show because of Alicia Edwards' interference or involvement. I think offsets it. I'm not happy about it. SP3, like the system. I think it's.
Why don't you like the system?
I think it's kind of corny.
Can't you need to trust the system?
That's what I'm saying. This is what the system does. The system goes on systems time. It's just so cool. That's not how the system works, Kushida. It's like, calm down, guys.
The system has their ways.
Exactly.
Man.
The way they say it just drives me nuts. But no, it's an interesting dynamic. But I think the system, because it would just be, I just think they get the win here. They get on the right foot. They get you feeling a certain way heading into the main event. I don't want to spoil my main event thoughts in the pre-show. Don't want to blow my load too early here, but I think the system gets it done.
I'm going to be in agreement with you. I think Edwards and Myers gets the win here. I would love for TNA to give something to the intergalactic jet setters and Kushida, considering the fact that Kushida signed with the company before they did the rebrand of TNA, and he hasn't been, lighting the world up in regards to wins. He
Yeah, I
lost
don't
that
know.
Hard to Kill, he lost to Moose, and he's on the pre-show here, so it doesn't look that grand for Kushida in TNA. Hopefully we can see him on the winning ways soon, but I think he takes the loss here.
It's because of the system that's in place, SP3. It's the system's fault that Kushida is where he's at.
It's all because of the system that they're in.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't Anthem that got rid of Scott
It was
DeHoor.
the system.
It was the system.
The system is designed for Kushida to fail. But no, you're absolutely right. Because I love Kevin Knight. I think he is fantastic as well. So like the fact that they're relegated to this storyline to me is almost like a bit of a travesty. But we're here. This is what we've got. So I can only call it like I see it.
But this feels like the second show in a row where I'm like, the system tag team matchup probably fits more on the main card than one of the matches we're going to discuss on the main card. And I'll give y'all a hint. It's once again the same person that I said shouldn't have been on the main card at Hard to Kill. But not this first match that we're going to discuss here. The first match is a championship bout. Knockouts, World Tag Team titles up for grabs as the Decay, Rosemary, and Havoc will defend against the former champions Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. MK Ultra. It was at Hard to Kill that Decay came back from the Undead Realm. No more Courtney Rush, no more Jessica. It was Havoc and Rosemary back from the Undead Realm, and they defeated MK Ultra, ending their months-long reign as Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. Since then, MK Ultra have turned heel. They've been showing more aggression, been attacking their adversaries before and after matches, and even attacked Decay. Decay had to make the save for Jody Threat and Danny Luna a couple of weeks back. Who do you think gets the win here?
Oh, my first thought is when you see MK Ultra and you just think it's Masha, Killer Kelly, there's very few teams that got their number, right?
Yeah.
Very few. But Decay, man, they got it. They've got them. They got it. Like you said, they're turning heel now. They're trying to figure this out. They want them tag belts back. These two teams scared the shit out of me. SP3, they scare me, both of these teams. But I think, and it pains me to do this because I never pick against Masha Slamovich in pretty much anything, but I think Decay retains here. I think Decay has MK Ultra's number, and I think it starts to drive Masha and Kelly nuts, and maybe it goes back into them getting into a singles bout with each other. Like back to that. That's what I'm thinking. I think Decay's got their number. And pains me to say it.
I can definitely see that. Decay is a strong tag team. This is, I believe, their second time with the Knockouts World Tag Team titles. But I think we're going to get another second reign because I think that MK Ultra regained the titles here. I think they turned them heel to kind of give their characters a revamp, and we get their real title run starting at No Surrender.
I mean, hey, I like it. It makes for good podcasting if we disagree. But again, if you were going to put confidence points on these things, this would be my least confident pick because I do think Killer Kelly and Masha is fantastic. I just think
I've always loved them as a duo.
I do too, but I think Decay's got their number. It's just a hunch, just a feeling.
And yeah, Masha Slamovich, one of the good friends of the channel. We interviewed her all the way back in 2020, before all the success that she's gotten in the last 3-4 years. But next up, we got another person who just re-signed with TNA Wrestling, PCO. He goes one-on-one with the former enforcer of Diener's group. I forget the name, whatever their name.
The Design.
The Design.
The Design is dead.
Man, it's dead. It's been dead. It was dead on arrival. But Khan he's still here, and he goes one-on-one with PCO. Khan has been trying to prove a point and make a statement ever since leaving the Design. He attacked Diener and PCO after their matchup on TNA Impact, kept attacking PCO even despite PCO rising from the dead. So we get this hoss fight at No Surrender here. Who do you think wins?
Yeah, so you said it. They're dead. The design is dead, but did anybody catch over the last few weeks? It did feel like Diener wanted it to die, but Khan was like, it's done. It's done. I'm calling it. And he said he's the baddest man in TNA, but PCO ain't a man. That's a freaking nature. That's a Frankenstein. That's a monster. I never go against PCO, but this Khan, it would be silly if he didn't win. It would just be a waste. I think it would be a waste of everything that they've done to try to build him into the badass that he is. So I'm taking Khan over PCO because I think he's got to win this thing, or else it's like, all right, you killed the design. Why? You just taking L's to PCO?
I am.
It would be a big statement win.
I am sure Khan is a nice person.
I'm sure he is too. I know where you're going.
PCO wins.
Listen, I don't love it. This isn't. I wouldn't have put this on. I wouldn't have put this match together.
This is the match, guys, I was talking about as far as this could have been on the pre-show, and the design and the system matchup should have been on the main show.
The way that they've built Khan up over the last few weeks, though, it's like, why would I care about this guy if he loses here? Like, why did you go?
They built him up for PCO to beat him.
Right. But we already know PCO, is a monster. He gets big wins. He's been there, done that. Let's just knock this. So then Khan's done after this. This is my opinion. By your logic, he's out. I'm out. I'm over.
To be fair, though, who big monsters has PCO beaten since Jonah got beat like 2 years ago?
Exactly. So
he hasn't. They had to build someone up. They did that with Khan. He gets a big win here. PCO can be revved up and ready to go for a contender for the winner of the main event.
Or they could just keep jobbing PCO out because he's a big guy.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Listen, I'm not happy that this match is here. I'm not over the moon about any of that. Don't get me wrong.
You're booking Khan to spite this match.
I gotta pick somebody.
Next up,
what do you want me to do?
We have another grudge match here, as it's going to be Josh Alexander going one-on-one with Simon Gotch. Josh Alexander has started off 2024 with a big boom outside of everything going on with his contract situation. He has come into 2024 in the rebrand of TNA with some big wins, picking up a victory and a hell of a hoss fight against Alexander Hammerstone at Hard to Kill, but everyone is still talking about his match of the year candidate, one of the greatest matches in TNA history against Will Ospreay, being one of the people to defeat Will Ospreay and become TNA's very own world beater. But now that has brought out people out the woodwork, including Simon Gotch, who made his debut just a couple of weeks back, coming through the crowd to attack Josh Alexander, setting up this one-on-one grudge match here. Pluggo, who do you think wins? What do you think about Simon Gotch in TNA?
Sorry, I was just drawing up my apology note to the True Heel Heat Nation that I picked Khan to win this match and that I will never be invited back on True Heel Heat. But I understand the errors of my ways. My first thought when I saw this was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, Simon Gotch is a guy that just like, every time he talks, like when he cut that promo last week, like I just believe him. I really, for some reason, I'm drawn to Simon Gotch's promo work. So I'm like, I believe that he's here to take out Josh Alexander. Do I think he's going to do it though? I don't think so. Because again, like we talked, Lethal Weapon you're not going to have him start taking losses and try to keep him. That's not going to make him happy. I think it's going to be a really good match. I think Josh Alexander ultimately gets it done. I do enjoy Simon Gotch being in TNA. I think it's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I think that they just have to find the right act. I don't think that Simon Gotch on his own is going to work too well or get over or gain enough traction on his own. If they pair him up with the right person, find the right act for him, I think that they can get more out of Simon Gotch than a lot of other places have.
Hear me out. There's a guy sitting on commentary that Has it?
I mean, they do have history.
They do have
history.
The Vaudevillains, man. I didn't think that was the worst thing in the world back in the day. Don't judge me.
I don't know if it will work in 2024.
No, I doubt it. But no, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Because if you look at Simon Gotch's career or Simon Grimm or whatever, he's always been a strength when he's like in a group, like when he was with Contra or in the tag team. But I do enjoy where he's coming from. I just think he's going to be a guy that I could see that would get like a heavy, get some muscle behind him.
If they want him to be like a single star, he's going to need like the heavy to be along with him to prop him up a little bit.
Absolutely.
But one thing that's not going to need any propping up, never assistance, is the final match of the best of 3 series between ABC and the Grizzled Young Veterans. Match 3 goes down at No Surrender, this time for the TNA World Tag Team Championships, as we are down to the final match at 1-1. Grizzled Young Vets won the first matchup. ABC won the second match. These two teams were a part of the Fatal 4-Way at Hard to Kill that ABC won, and the rivalry have stemmed off from that. What have you thought about this best of 3 series, and who do you think walks out with the tag team gold on Friday?
Oh my goodness, man. I have loved it. I want this to end in a draw so we can get a best of 5, best of 7. I really do enjoy both teams here. Unlike PCO and Khan, I'm all in on this, and I don't know who to pick because I don't know who I want to win, but I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it very much. I think you give it to the Grizzled Young Veterans here. Like, there was no doubt in my mind when they said the best of 3 that this was going 3. Nobody was sweeping this thing. I think that would be a huge statement win over Ace and Bay. They can always get it back. They're a standout team. I think you got to give it to the Grizzled Young Vets, man.
I'm going to be in agreement with you here. I think the Grizzled Young Vets were a needed tag team for this TNA tag team division. I remember speaking to Chris Bay at the end of 2023 and like going over my questions about like what's next for the ABC after regaining the tag team titles, because they had just came off a long rivalry with the Rascals. They had beaten the Subculture. They've had their rounds with the Motor City Machine Guns. And I was like looking at the tag team scene, I was like, I kind of have faced everybody. Yeah. They needed somebody to come in and really boost this up and be a new team, be a top team to be an anchor for this division. And the Grizzled Young Vets fit the build in every single way. They have immediately become the top heel tag team in this TNA tag team division. And you have to solidify that. You have to cement that. I think they get the win here as well.
Well, I think you said it. I think you nailed that like right on the head. Was like Ace and Bay, especially more Ace than Bay. Like he was always handpicked to be like, this guy's going to be a future TNA World Champion, right? And then Chris Bay signed there, and you're like, this guy's got it too. Like I would love to see them do, like kind of like Motor City Machine Gun style, where it's like we're still a tag team, but we're going to go do our own thing, but we'll always come back and be the ABC. But now we know that we've got these Grizzled Young Vets that can hold the, could be the anchors in this division. And give Kushida and Kevin Knight a run. Let's go.
No, honestly,
let them slot in there with the Grizzled Young Vets. Let's do that.
Honestly, I don't want the rivalry to end here, though.
Yeah,
like I think that you do the best of 3 series, you put the titles on GYV, and I feel ABC is at best when they're chasing the titles. They seem to kind of get the crowd behind them a little bit more when they're chasing the championships rather than being the champs.
It could easily be like this match could steal the show, and then Ace and Bay like give us one more. You know what I mean?
I could see this going to Rebellion at least. Rebellion's in April. I could see it blowing off there with like a 2 out of 3 falls or like an Ultimate X or a ladder match or something. Yeah,
because the Grizzled Young Vets, I mean, they've been playing the heel side of this thing and they've been attacking and doing them. But they could say, hey, you know what that's like. We come in, we're trying to make a statement. You guys push us to our limit. Let's go a couple more. Like I'd be down with that, of course.
Next up, we got the Knockouts World Championship. Pluggo up for grabs. Jordan Grace defends against the winner of the second ever Ultimate X matchup, the number one contender, Giselle Shaw. Giselle Shaw has been chasing TNA gold for the past couple of years, but it seems like she is closest right now. No more Shantaraj to distract her. She's going into this solo and one-on-one. Is it Giselle's time, or will Jordan Grace's run with the championship that just started at Hard to Kill continue?
What an interesting time for her to drop the Shantaraj. Like,
I was very much surprised.
I was like, you got Jordan Grace in like 2 weeks here, in a week, in a couple days, as we record this. What are you doing? That would like maybe swayed it in my favor to pick Shaw, because I think she's doing the best work of her career right now. I think she's hitting on all cylinders. That mean streak in her is fantastic, but it's Jordan Grace. It's the juggernaut. She just, like you said, just won the title at Hard to Kill. It'd be kind of silly to flip-flop it after a month, especially given she just came off that big. They're still riding the high of that WWE Royal Rumble appearance. Like, what does that say about your TNA Knockouts champion that she can't hold it after her first defense, after the Royal, after all this pub? So I think it's Jordan Grace. I'm not thrilled about it because I love Giselle Shaw, but I hope that there's an opportunity that they could maybe keep this going, give us a couple more, maybe one more somehow. But yeah, dropping the Entourage, man, not a good look. That's the ace in the hole.
I was puzzled by that one. I'm not sure about that one. I was really kind of confident that Giselle Shaw would win when she did take her title shot opportunity. I just didn't expect it to be 1 month after Hard to Kill.
Right.
I thought she would wait a little while before taking this opportunity. So because it's so soon after Jordan Grace won the championship, so soon after the Royal Rumble with that appearance and her stock rising, I don't think it's a good time for her to drop the title. So I think that Jordan Grace retains. Then we got the matchup that I'm probably looking forward to the most on this card, Pluggo, for the TNA X Division Championship. The 10-time champ, Chris Sabin, in his longest reign of his 10 runs, he will defend against the debuting former WWE star Mustafa Ali. Ali has been running his whole campaign for change, and he is bringing that change to TNA Wrestling. And to make that change complete, he has to take the X Division Championship to the next level and be the X Factor of the X Division, and he has to dethrone Chris Sabin. Who do you think wins here?
Oof. I'm going with Mustafa Ali. I think this is the change we need. When is the last time, SP3, in your entire career of watching professional wrestling, have you ever seen a wrestler run a campaign ad during another wrestler's entrance?
Not many times.
No, you haven't. But no, I think this World Tour thing that Ali is on right now is one of my favorite things to follow on socials. I love everything he's doing. He's calling for change. He's actually, like I said, he's doing things that have never been done. Like, I've never seen that caught my eye. I was like, oh, is he running like a campaign ad? And then, like, I still don't know what the Good Hands involvement is with this. They seem to be.
I think it's going to be a part like of a stable.
Like a stable, or are they like overzealous fans that accidentally cost him? But ultimately, like, Sabin's had it longest reign 10 times. I think there's no shame in him dropping it to Ali. We get that change. Let's go TNA Ali 2024. I'm all in.
There's just so many great X Division stars I want to see. Mustafa Ali against Speedball Mike Bailey, Kushida, Kevin Knight, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz. The list goes on and on. I'm very excited to see what they got planned for Mustafa Ali in TNA, but I agree with you. It starts with him winning the X Division championship here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you could have that feud go for a couple more pay-per-views, really build it up, establish Ali. Like we talked earlier, you could even have like Shelley and Saban go back being a tag team for a little bit and put over the grizzled young vets. Like there's a lot of good that could come from this X Division Championship becoming Ali's, even if it is for just like a short run over the summer or into the new, if he holds it for 2020, the rest of 2024, that would be impressive. But
yeah, be a whole part of this whole campaign here he's having throughout the
we would be talking weekly about, did you see Ali and Bailey? Did you see Ali and Miguel? Like it would be like a thing where you'd have to go, we got to go check out this X Division in TNA.
And Mustafa Ali is going to have a big weekend because on Friday he faced Chris Sabin for the X Division Championship. And then this weekend he faces Speedball Mike Bailey in Prestige Wrestling. So it's going to be a lot of fun for Mustafa Ali.
And I think I just saw he was announced for the Bayou Bash or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, the next night.
Kevin Knight. Yeah, so they're going to get a whole weekend of Ali. Maybe we'll get Kevin Knight versus Ali for the X Division Championship. We'll see.
There we go. And then finally, the main event for the TNA World Championship. Moose defends against Alex Shelley in a no surrender rules matchup, meaning this matchup will not have any pinfalls or submission. No, the winner of this matchup will be determined by the cornermen. For Moose, it will be the System's Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. For Alex Shelley, it will be Kushida and Kevin Knight. And the loser is determined by the cornermen who throw in the towel for their man. And that is how you win or lose this matchup, by throwing in the towel, by surrendering. Who do you think walks out with the victory in this one? And what do you think about these unique rules for this main event?
When I heard that, I don't think I'd ever heard anything like that before. I was like, so they're just going to beat the shit out of each other until one of the other teams throws in the towel. And so it got me thinking, of course, that's why I was saying maybe the system, they get the win early on, they're feeling confident. I just don't trust Eddie Edwards. Really, like he's the guy I don't trust here, where it's like, well, I know I could beat Alex Shelley, so why don't I throw that towel in just a little earlier than maybe they would have on that side? Because if your angle is to eventually the system breaks down, see, it's all punny. This thing is just ridiculous. Then that would be my angle. It's like, well, I know I could take out Alex Shelley, so why don't I throw in the towel early for Moose, right? But ultimately, I'm kind of torn here. I don't know. Like I know Alex Shelley Moose just won the title as well, so it's not like this reign is super long. The system does seem to be the direction they want to go. So if I had to pick, I would pick Moose, but I could see Alex Shelley coming out victorious because of Eddie Edwards or Kurt Hawkins thrown in the towel too early.
Call him by his slave name. His name's Brian Myers.
Oh, shoot.
Called him Kurt Hawkins.
It's Freudian slip. I slipped up here.
I know. You didn't even realize it. That's why
I know. Yeah, thank you. Call me out. I still do that with like Daniel Bryan.
Oh, I would definitely call you out.
Yeah, it still happens.
It's okay to say Dolph Ziggler or stuff like that. That's still new. But Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, it's been 3 years now, dog.
Hey,
we got to be better. We got to be better. Brian Myers, it's been 4 years now.
I know. How many times have we worked together? I'm not the smartest one in the box. You know this.
Hey, you're a smart and beautiful man. Your missus tells me all the time.
But I wish she'd start telling me and stop telling everybody else. No, I'm just kidding. But if you hear this, honey, it's all love.
I am in agreement with you, though. I think Moose is picking up the win here, but I think there needs to be a way to parlay this into something for Alex Shelley in the way that this is going down with the rules involved. And I feel like Shelley, during his title run, has teased him going heel. And I feel like this final shot against Moose could be kind of the tipping point that turns him heel and maybe turns both Machine Guns heel, with Sabin losing, with us both predicting Sabin's gonna lose on this show. Maybe you turn both Machine Guns heel after this show, and I think that starts with Kushida throwing in the towel for Alex Shelley, and then Alex Shelley turning on Kushida coming out of No Surrender.
Okay. See, I like that.
Yeah. So I'm here.
Kushida's still his name, right? Can't remember.
What did WWE call him? Jacket time?
Jacket
off time?
No, that was well, Jacket Time. Yeah,
that was him and
Ikamajiro. Yeah, Jesus, that was so bad.
Well, yes, I'm excited for a lot of these matches on the card. I think it's going to be a really good show. Impact, TNA, known for their specials, their pay-per-views, always delivering, and I think No Surrender will be no different. So that's why I want to thank Pluggo for joining me here on the channel to preview the card. Pluggo, the floor is yours. Let everybody know where they can follow you. Between Two Beers, Love Wrestling CA, and everywhere else. The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I absolutely appreciate being here. It's an honor. You can find me at Pluggo_, as it says right there, on Twitter, at Pluggo, on all other social medias. That's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it. And then, like he said, Between Two Beers, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. with JPJ over on Love Wrestling CA on Twitter. But you can find that show on YouTube at Love Wrestling CA. You can also find my podcast, wherever podcasts are, Unplugged with Pluggo, every Monday night. I just sit there and shoot the shit by myself for about a half hour. So yeah, that's where you can find me. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate this.
Of course, my good brother. You're definitely going to see Pluggo some more. Always have fun chopping it up with him. We got to get JPJ over here as well on the channels for sure. But check out all the great stuff we got on the channel right now. We got another preview from earlier this week for NJPW, The New Beginning in Sapporo with me and Sanal. Also, you could check out my exclusive interview with former two-time Impact World Champion Josh Alexander, and check out Rated Raw Review number 11, Big Brother, for this week's Monday Night Raw with me and Romeo. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, and check out the True Hill Heat Sports YouTube channel, Sports and Wrestling YouTube channel. We just made that expansion this week, so go over and check out the announcement video, and we'll have plenty of new content over there as well. Thank you so much to Pluggo. Thank you to all of you watching here. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video, share with your friends, and these are just our predictions. We want to hear yours. Let us know in the comments down below. But for Pluggo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our TNA No Surrender 2024 preview. We are signing off until next time.